Welcome to the Leverage Show. Get more from your business and your life. Remember to share your questions and challenges with me at leverageshow.com so I can answer them for you on future episodes. Today, I want to share with you the all-in-one business and life organizing tool for entrepreneurs and business owners. You know, one of the things that's plagued me for years is I've searched for a way to simplify and organize my business and my life. I don't like to have 6 different tools. You know, I have a task list over here and a project management over there and file management here. You've got 6 different logins. Then you're trying to get other people involved in your project and they can access this one, but they can't access that. And I've tried so many different things, but I just wanted something where I could manage everything in one place, but yet at the same time, I wanted it to be something that's logically intuitive in order to use. You know, I've also tried things that maybe had tons of functionality, but they were terrible in terms of usability. It was so clunky and difficult to learn what to do that I knew that it wasn't worth it, because even if I figured it out, if I tried to give anybody else access, they were going to have the same problems. And so I've tried over the years just about everything that I can think of when it comes to this, you know, planning and organizing. I've tried offline planners, you know, the little zipper type where you've got calendars and contact lists, total pain in the neck. I never use them because I don't really want to write in it. You know, I want something that's digital and online and easy. So even though you have that, anytime you decide to change it, you have to scan in all your contacts again or rewrite them. I just found that with those kinds of tools, I never really used them. You know, you had to follow all these instructions in order to even figure out how to use it. And then it just was too clunky to use it. It was too much work. So those kinds of things, organizing tools, any of the offline stuff, I mean, at this point, this day and age, you know, is sort of a thing of the past. You know, years ago, when there was no cloud, and even, you know, not much of an internet either, you know, it was much more common for people to use offline type of planners. That stuff now is largely gone by the wayside because you can replace a lot of that functionality with stuff that works online. So it only makes sense to have something that's online. Now, the other issue is when you're talking about online stuff is I've tried things like, you know, a to-do list app, you know, where it's really good for managing your to-do list. And that's great. You can do categories, you can do business and personal, but there's really no way to link it to your other stuff. First of all, if it isn't web-based, forget about it. Because what that means is you need to sync it. You need to sync it with your cell phone, sync it with your computer. Then you've got an office computer. The sync stuff never works. You end up with your contacts in 3 different places. They're in duplicates and triplicates. You've got each person in your address book 3 or 4 times. Then you go to update your cell phone and you switch from, you know, Apple to Samsung, and you got a whole nother host of issues. So it's got to be web-based at this point also. I mean, those are 2 things I think are musts. Online at this point and web-based as well. You don't want desktop software that you need to download. The things are constantly being updated. You have to keep buying the new license. Then you switch a computer, you need a new license key. Forget all that stuff. So a web-based tool. But even with that, I've tried a lot of these different things, and sometimes they work really well for the one function that they do. I was using a pretty popular to-do list app for a while, and it actually worked pretty well. The problem is, again, how do I coordinate that with project management? So now I've got a project that I'm trying to do for business, and there are tasks that obviously make up that project. Now I've got to go and put them in my own app, but then nobody else can really see what I'm working on. So then I sort of need to report back, so there's no collaboration. The task list thing doesn't work. The project management stuff doesn't work. All of those things basically have a fatal flaw because they don't incorporate every aspect of it. Or then you have something that's really good for business, but it doesn't work at all for your personal life. So what I did was I've tried, countless different pieces of software and different applications, and every single one of them I found that had a problem. Now, I discovered one not that long ago that I've started to use, and I've actually really like it so far. It doesn't mean it's the be-all, end-all. It doesn't mean that there aren't other tools out there, but for what I've found, it works the best. And again, it isn't perfect, and I'm sure there will be other tools that come out in the future. But the app is called Teamwork. And what I like about Teamwork is it allows me to manage everything in one place. First of all, it is web-based. So you can log in from your cell phone. There's an app for your cell phone. So you can log into it there and you can check all of your stuff. It's also, you can log in any browser. So any computer, any mobile device, as long as you have your username and password, you can log in. So I like that a lot. It also has collaboration features. So you can set up projects, but you can also invite different users, and you can invite them on a per project basis. So when you want to separate your personal stuff, or maybe projects that certain partners aren't involved in, you can set that up and they never will even see that stuff. So that is really cool. It has a task management, and it allows you to enter tasks. It's really intuitive and simple. It also allows you to do time-sensitive tasks where you can put a start date or a deadline for it. And also it allows you to do recurring tasks. I like to put reminders in when I need to pay my bills. Well, I don't want to have to put that in every single month. Now I can set up a recurring task so the same day of the month it pops up and reminds me to go in and do that. So you can set up recurring tasks. You can set up certainly business tasks, and you can set up child or subtasks also. So you can have a main task with subtasks for it. And so that way it sort of covers all the task management stuff. You can also tag them. So you can tag tasks that are personal. You can also tag them as work tasks. And you can tag them with different people's names or whatever else you want. So what you can set it up by setting a project for all your personal stuff and just load all of your tasks and stuff in there. That's one way to do it. Or you could put all your tasks in one big list and just tag them with the stuff that you want. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, but it is easy to use. I was up and running with it in less than a day, and I had all of my stuff set up. You invite other people to it. All they do is accept the email invite, and they're in. And what I also like is that it allows for complete project management. So you can build out these pretty extensive project management. And what's awesome is you can make it into a template. You can clone a project. So what I do is make one master project template for like a product launch. And then I archive it. I clone it and I archive it. So that way it doesn't show up on my to-do list that I have 887 tasks that are overdue. But it sits there for me. And the cloned one, I rename as the current project. As we go through it, if I find things, tasks that were missing, I open up the archive project and I add them to the master task list for that project. So now every time we get a new one, it's sort of a living, breathing, evolving project management template. So I really love that I can do that with it. But in addition to that, I can upload files, and so can my team. So if we have stuff that we need to share with each other, we can upload files. It has integrated messaging. I love Skype for hitting up people for quick conversations and stuff like that. But how often when you're using Skype do you say, oh, what was that thing? We were talking about it the other day. I can't remember. Then you're doing searches to go back through it. If it's project related, I tell everybody on the team, listen, put it in the messaging for this project. And the messaging is broken down, so are the tasks by project. So if you are launching a product and you're doing a new marketing campaign, each of those could be a separate project that only the correct people will see access to that. When you're creating tasks under those projects, you can assign them to different team members. And as people check stuff off, it's updated in real time for everybody. So everyone can see the project status, and you can set milestones. So not just deadlines for a particular task, but a milestone for, hey, we've got to get the core app functionality done by this date. And you can put it in, and then you can see all the dependent tasks on that. So in those ways, it works really, really well because it allows me to manage my personal stuff. It allows me to manage all of my professional stuff. It allows me to involve my team, do projects, have a running track record of everything that's been done and everything that's been listed, create templates for stuff I want to use over and over again. And also, it allows you to add things to the calendar. So if you have birth dates to remember that are personal, you can put those in the calendar and have it only alert you. It's not going to alert your team that it's your brother's birthday. So that way, you can have everything in one place. Now, it doesn't really have a thing for contacts. But what I've found is it doesn't really matter because contacts nowadays are always in your cell phone. You know, no matter what app you're using, whether you're using, an iPhone or whether you're using an Android or whatever else, for the most part, that stuff is always in there. And so I just use that for my apps and for my email. Apps and email are going to be two different things, but those things are constantly evolving anyway. So in terms of an overall organization and management platform, it's the best that I've found thus far. Maybe if they added a spot for adding your contacts in there that then could be synced with other devices, maybe that would be cool. But I don't know, it might actually be even more of a pain than it's worth because I just keep everything on my cell phone and that makes it easy enough. But that is something worth checking out. It's a very reasonable price. If you're looking for a tool to manage and organize your entire life in one place, check out Teamwork. It's worked really well for me. It's the best solution I've found so far anyway, and so maybe it'll work for you too. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have a question, share it with me at leverageshow.com so I can answer it for you on a future episode. And until next time, make it happen.